Yes, I'm enjoying my degree, but there are challenges. Um, um, Transitioning from grade 12 or high school actually to university, I think was the biggest shocker when I realized that the workload is just insane. The amount of work we covered in grade 12 was probably the work we do in a month at university, and I think that was one of my major struggling points or areas where I really needed to work on. Time management. Can I just say time management is very important. You have all this time, but you really don't because you are too busy preparing for assessments and exams. In 2014, I matriculated from Belgravia High School with an 80% average, which I'm really thankful for. I then decided to accept the University of the Western Cape's offer to study law, but I had a problem. I didn't have any funding, and I went to the offices at the University of the Western Cape and to the financial aid office, and they told me that I could not obtain financial aid because they needed a signature from one of my parents. And at the time I was a minor and my mom was hospitalized as a result of a bipolar condition that was it flared up at the time. Like with a condition, there would be highs and lows, and there would be times where she would have to be hospitalized, and that was a period she voluntarily went because she realized she just needed a break. And I think her taking breaks, taking time out to take care of herself was what kept her healthy all these years. And she went to the hospital clinic for a period of I think 2 months, and at the time it just happened to be January 2015 when I urgently needed a parent to sign my loan agreement. And when I discovered that I could not obtain the financial aid, I was devastated, because I worked very hard during my final Matric exams. I worked very hard throughout my grade 12 year, and it was very saddening to actually possibly not be able to start my studies as a result of my mother's hospitalization. But I decided to not throw in the towel because I had a goal, and my goal was to start my degree in 2015. I then phoned a friend, and my friend helped me compile my CV and my motivational letter, and I sent it to various organizations around the country. And a few days later, I received a phone call, and the phone call, or the person on the phone, informed me that I was the recipient of the Solomon Mahlangu Scholarship, which covered my tuition fees, my registration fees. They provide a book allowance, and they really assisted me in funding my studies thus far. I'm still a recipient of the scholarship, which I'm really thankful for. Before I went to university, I asked myself, what student are you going to be? Are you going to be a student who just comes to university for lectures, who goes to the bar, and the bar is like this pub on campus? Are you going to just go there to have fun with your friends? And then I decided no. I decided I need to have a balanced student life, and I decided to be actively involved in student communities, assuming various leadership positions on various student organizations, and it really contributes to your growth as an individual. I was really looking for opportunities that would help me develop my leadership skills, and that would help me connect with people, because university is all about building strong connections that you can use later on in your life, or where they might need your assistance in the future. I would really like to study my master's. I would like to do my master's in social development, social law, social justice. I'm very passionate about it. I was involved in this organization called Street Law, where we would visit a juvenile prison on a weekly basis, and we were exposed to how the young women of the center were treated and how the laws were actually implemented. And it really stirred something up inside of me to know that there are these laws and procedures in place to protect these young women, but they weren't actually being taken care of as they should have been. So I really want to further my studies in social development and social policy, and use those skills one day to ensure that young people who are in positions of vulnerability are essentially taken care of the way they should, and that policy is implemented the way it should be, and not just swept under the carpet and just being ignored because people assume that things are in order when it's not. So social justice has always been very close to my heart, and I can't wait to start my LLM next year. I think at the outset, the biggest issue or the biggest problem that the youth are facing is unemployment, the lack of leadership in communities. For example, in my community, where it's mostly mothers who are running the households, being influenced by your friends, being influenced by the media to live a certain type of life. My hope for South Africa is that young people, firstly, would recognize the potential. I think South Africa has so much talented, resilient young people. I think resilience is one of the best characteristics we have as a youth. Speaking on behalf of my age group, if I may, we are extremely resilient, and I think we need to tap into our purpose. Now it's not the time to make excuses. It's not the time to say no, there's someone else is going to do it. You need to do it. You need to change your environment, change your community, whether it's with 2 people, whether it's with 5 people. You can make a difference in the smallest way, and we really need to step up, and we need to do better. We need to leave this country in a better place in which we found it. We really need to step up and do our best to ensure that the country is flourishing, to ensure that the generations after us have a better quality of life, a better quality of education, that poverty is reduced, that the other social issues are also tackled. We really have a huge responsibility resting on our shoulders, and it's up to each one of us to make a difference.